Hey folks, Boceifus here. I'm starting the next video with a chat with Andrea, however you say her name. But anyway, I was out doing some off-camera stuff for the artifacts, uh, stuff that really don't need to be in the video uh, to finish up, and she keeps pestering me to talk. So we're going to talk to her, and then I'm going to pause it, begin recording again later when we're doing something else that's not repetitive and boring. So let's talk to Andrea.
Never would I have imagined to encounter something like these Starborn. Now I feel that rather than having answers, we only have more questions.
Always knew there was something else out there.
I think many have felt that way at one time or another, but to see them in person is something else, is it not? Regardless of how impossible they may have seemed before now, I must say that I do not like being threatened by anyone.
No one's going to stop us. We've come too far.
I agree we should keep looking for answers, but clearly we must be cautious. Clearly these Starborn are connected to the artifacts, which would mean that they are also connected to that temple you found. Did they make these things? Have they appropriated them? This all implies there is something more, something we do not yet understand.
We'll see them again soon enough.
Does seem as though our paths are likely to cross again. We will need to be on our guard from now on. They seem to know much about us. Perhaps we can learn more about them to make it even. We should return to our search then. There's still so much to do. I have things I wish to discuss with you when you have time. I wanted to thank you for giving me the chance to work with you. I know we met under, unusual circumstances. You seem to be acclimating well to Constellation. Are you enjoying working with them?
It's certainly not like anything I've done before.
I think none of us were expecting what we have found. Well, perhaps Matteo. You have certainly become a vital part of the organization. That is a credit to your abilities. If I may, from what you have seen, do you think I fit in well with the rest of Constellation?
If you're asking, I assume you feel you don't?
No, I do not. But I find it hard to quantify. Many of the other members are polite, but distant. I worry that my background and my actions concern them. I have not shared much, but everyone knows I worked with smugglers for years. I am no stranger to violence and death.
Oh, accepting the unfamiliar can be hard for people.
I know. For those that have not lived it, it can be difficult to imagine or accept. Others here have seen conflict, but for more noble causes. Vladimir is the only one here who can begin to understand. He was the one who pressed the group to include me. I lack his charm. He puts others at ease. I fear my presence does the opposite.
Trust me, Got a lot going for you.
That is kind of you. You also have a lot going. I, I find expressing affection difficult, but truly. Thank you. I know this seems trivial. Perhaps childish. I have just always relied only on myself. I have never been surrounded by people like this. By a group I wish to be a part of. Does that make sense?
I've always been a loner myself.
And yet here we are, working together. And that has, I think, gone very well. Discussing these things is challenging for me. I hope now you can better understand why I wanted to keep the circumstances of our meeting quiet. I wanted to thank you for not saying anything to Vladimir. I know that you said you wouldn't, but it is still a relief. I would like my contributions to Constellation to amount to more than violence.
It was clearly important to you that I not say anything.
Indeed it was. And now I hope you can see why. Thank you for talking this over with me. It is good to know that at least one member of Constellation understands me.
Hey, well, we'll go ahead and pause it here. Pick up recording later. But I wanted to get that talk out of the way so she didn't pester me every 5 minutes. But we'll continue on in a bit. All right, here's another snippet of conversation. As this is something different. After I collect a couple artifacts, I was going to drop them off here. Off not recording because it was just rinse and repeat deal. There's some new conversation, so you can see Andrea's got a new outfit. We match.
Captain, I believe your ship will perform more efficiently if you bring me on board.
Look at how far we've come. It's all becoming so overwhelming. The Starborn, the artifact visions, the music. Is it all worth it?
Mateo, are you having a crisis of faith? You?
What if the Starborn are right? What if our hunt for the artifacts is a fool's errand, doomed to failure and catastrophe?
You think we're doing the wrong thing? We just want answers. Isn't that why we all joined in the first place? The noble quest of discovery?
Noel's right. We can't abandon who we are now.
Agreed. We should not abandon our mission when things become difficult.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to shame either of you. Blame the workings of a worried mind. I just hope that this journey doesn't turn us into something that we wouldn't recognize from where we are now.
Hate to interrupt, but I have a favor to ask. Lot of equipment on the Eye has reached the span's end. If we're going to find more artifacts further out, we need work done. Got the nods and signs from Sarah and Walter for the materials, but I need hands.
Listen to me, Vladimir. The Starborn are going to attack. We have to move the artifacts before they kill one of us.
Middle of the biggest city in the settled systems, not passing the safety checks? Only met the Starborn out in space so far.
I know more about the Starborn than I've been letting on, Vladimir. Trust me on this, please.
Secrets within secrets. Wouldn't be the first time for Constellation. Fine. Camaraderie over reason. All right. Pack up the artifacts. Hopefully we'll catch a smile and keep the Starborn guessing. Gave up my room in the lodge so Andreja had a place to call her own. Everyone needs space to let their thoughts run solo.
Take on the Starborn.
Find myself thinking of the fleet. You know you can take a mark. You don't open comms. It's all storm and fire and sifting the wreckage after it's over. But if you're not so sure, you play the bully's gambit. Hope they don't challenge the threats you throw at them. Sound familiar?
You're saying it was just posturing.
Thoughts taking a stroll through my mind is all. A striker lurking in the shadows has good reason to hide. Won't be easy to drag them into the light. Lucky I noticed a pattern in one of those artifacts you pulled out. Here.
I have been idle here for a long time. I believe Barrett would describe this state as bored.
Okay, that was it. Just a little different conversation is all that I thought was worth recording or important enough to record. So we're going to pause here and figure out what to do from there. Okay, I finished up some behind the scenes stuff, some of which was before this part, but we've gone to Paradiso to see what's up. Quest is first contact. I've got Andrea along as my partner. And we're both sporting the fashionable security armor.
Welcome to Paradiso. Jiro Sugiyama at your service. Do you have a security concern, or is there something else I can help you with?
I'm here about the distress call you sent.
Ah, yes, of course. I'm glad you came. As you can imagine, we're in a bit of a predicament. Under normal circumstances, we would not enlist outside help in this manner. But this is a matter we can't afford to worry our guests about. As such, we need to handle this discreetly. Failure on your part to do so could have severe consequences. So, before we proceed, can you swear not to discuss this with anyone else unless explicitly directed to do so?
Yeah, I agree. Just hurry up and tell me what you want already.
I understand you're eager to get into it, but if you're unwilling to take this seriously, I can foresee problems in your future. Not too long ago, a strange and enormous ship appeared in Parima space. It is now locked in orbit around our planet. So far, it doesn't seem to be hostile, but any attempts to communicate with it have been in vain, so we're unsure of the ship's intentions.
That seems like a delicate situation.
It is. Whatever's going on, we need to approach this with care. First, see if you have more luck communicating with them. If not, you may have to try boarding. Whatever you do, it's important to remember to seek diplomacy with who or whatever's on board. As soon as you have any more information, report to Oliver Campbell. He's the CEO of Paradiso. All formal decisions will need to go through him, and he'll have your pay. Good luck.
I have to come here and get some screenshots. Could never have enough screenshots.
I find the interior of this ship comforting.
Well, that's a good thing. They'll spend a lot of money to make it a comfortable ride.
Let's put this planet to disgrace. Orbital insertion completed.
Sorry, you're breaking up. Can we try a different channel? Hello? This is Boceifus. I don't think this is working. We're going to attempt a docking procedure and we can talk on board.
Nice clean dock, Captain.
Remain calm. There's no reason to suspect whatever it is hostile. You're human.
Human? I didn't know there were other options.
Oh, pardon my ignorance. We just didn't expect to find people out here. We didn't think anyone else left Earth before us.
You thought you were the only ones? I am afraid you have been unaware of a great many things.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Bomani Reader. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
Your ship is unlike any I've ever seen. What can you tell me about its design?
I don't know all the particulars, but I'll try to answer as best I can. It's a colony ship. It was built long ago by our ancestors to sustain our crew over hundreds of years in space through generations of travelers. It's sturdy, fast, and spacious. That last one is important because we had to take as many supplies as possible with us on the journey and still have ample space for our crew.
What is this ship?
You've come aboard the Earth colony ship, Constant. Generations ago, we set forth from the planet Earth with the mission of colonizing a new habitable world, in the spirit of our ancestors nearly a millennium ago.
I'm Boceifus, and I'm here to help.
I see. As you may have presumed, we're in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by... well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and... the others.
Well, I'd love to know more, but maybe we should get away from this airlock first.
Oh yes, of course. Where are my manners? Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge. Dr. da Costa, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am, for security purposes.
Just
I do not believe we have
stay
need to
out
fear
of
our
trouble.
guest, but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened. He gathered the best and brightest he could find, built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time.
The Constant is a peaceful ship.
Entire generations
Don't change that.
lived and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
We've got strict rules around here, but they're strict for a reason.
Careful waving that fancy gun around.
Here we are.
You don't need to
Let's
see
talk.
what it can do.
We didn't believe anyone would be out here, but I'm glad for it.
The crew holding up.
A bit frazzled, as you can imagine. People are anxious about discovering that we're not alone, and also worried about what will come to pass. While we hope we can work out a deal with the people on the surface, they seem reluctant to reach out, so there's no telling what will come of that. I do know that we can't afford to stay here in orbit forever. The ship was built to sustain us for many years with backup provisions just in case, but even that will come to an end eventually.
How long have you been captain?
I think I'm coming up on 6 years now. I was only a teenager when my father died, passing command of the ship to me, as is tradition. Because of that, I've had to sort of learn as I go along, instead of taking years of study and apprenticeship under the prior captain. I think some people on the ship resent me for not having the level of experience as my predecessors. But at the same time, without my command, we likely wouldn't have made it here so quickly.
Is it difficult being a captain for this ship?
Difficult is the wrong word. It can be both challenging at times and also exciting. Our mission was to rebuild humanity on a distant world, believing that we were Earth's last hope. To think that while there has always been a Brackenridge in the captain's chair, that I am the one to finally oversee our journey's end is truly exhilarating. But with this stumbling block in our path, at this final moment, I fear tough choices will need to be made.
Sounds like you could use some help with your situation here.
Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and them as we attempt to resolve our situation. Does that sound agreeable to you?
What's wrong with your communication system?
We suspect that our equipment is woefully obsolete compared to whatever you all have now. In all honesty, we never expected to need to communicate with anyone, so our comms aren't particularly robust. That limits our options. We even attempted communicating with lights and sounds, something we saw in an old movie, but I don't believe they picked up on it. If anything, it may have inadvertently alarmed them.
The people in Paradiso want the same. I'll help.
Ah, so they have a name. Paradiso. And it sounds promising that they sent you here to speak with us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate a solution, preferably one that favors us.
I'll try, but diplomacy may require compromise.
Yes, of course. But we need to start from a firm position and state our goal. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mutually beneficial deal or some such, but initially I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there.
Kareem is huge. Why not just settle on the other side of it, away from the others?
We thought about it, but it simply won't do. I need to think about the distant future of our people. Sure, our first settlement may be small, but our predecessors dreamt of our new civilization spreading across the globe. That will be difficult if someone else plans to do the same. While we're not completely close to the idea of sharing, it's much easier if we have complete domain over this world.
Scary, but no promises I'll be able to convince them.
Now. It makes little sense to give up before you try. Thank you, and good luck.
Why? You can fast travel from anywhere else.
I am both shocked and impressed that all of this is still functional.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers.
Hey, Miss Julia? Can we watch that movie with all the superheroes in it again? We'll see. We have a lot of movies to get through, but maybe during our next virtuous time, if you can convince the other children. Really? Yeah. Hey, everyone! Miss Julia's watch it again. And then maybe we can watch one of the sequels some other time.
For hydroponics.
Now that we know what's out there, things are going to be more interesting from here on out.
ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
Is this the right way?
I still can't get over how the fuck ones out here.
Really? I always knew it. There had to be someone.
You just saying.
I'm lost in here. Well, we're taking a tour.
It felt out here, and how sad it was realizing we'd never see someone new.
No, I didn't say that.
We'll always appreciate the good engineering, whether they know it or not.
I wonder what it's like out there beyond our little community.
Definitely said that. I remember.
Okay.
I don't think I'm on the right way, going the right way. Well, maybe not.
She's out there.
God dang it. Remember how to get out and you can't quick travel.
And to think, all this time, we thought we were alone. Hey.
Miss Julia, I have a question.
Sure is nice to know there are other people out there.
Wow. Hi.
There's so much more to learn. Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships.
Borders.
Boy, am I.
I do not envy the lives that have been led in these confined quarters.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that.
Records.
It was about crops back
Hey there.
Ah, look at these old computers.
I must have zoned out.
Okay, so I gotta find a way. Yang. There Ying? Yin Yang?
Lived my entire life in the Constant.
I'm completely lost in this stupid ship. Ugh.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down trouble.
Yeah, whatever.
Just
Now I'm annoyed.
Out of trouble.
Wow.
Oh! Need a moment to walk that off?
Command Bay. There we go.
Careful waving that fancy gun around.
Oh, we just did that earlier. It would have saved a lot of wandering. I thought I had to hit the cockpit button.
Welcome back, Mr. Tofik. I am aware that this is your 8th visit to our resort. Your repeat patronage is much appreciated. Is there any assistance I may offer you today?
Actually, a question. Usually, when I come here, the shuttle takes a certain route.
Why is it showing I gotta get back on the ship?
I can see why this location was chosen for a resort. Very nice.
We've got some of the best private security in the settled systems.
Right.
It's beautiful out there, isn't it?
This is even better than in the brochure.
They're all wearing the same
Ever having
suit.
time, let alone the funds, for a vacation someplace.
Looks like they're out of the 60s. They're all wearing the same suits.
No one's going to care if I call out sick from work for another week, right?
Excuse me, you can't just waltz in there. Do you have an appointment?
I kind of do. You have a problem with the ship in orbit, and I'm here to help.
Oh, you're the one they're waiting for then. Do you need anything else from me before you meet with the board?
Nope.
Sure. Have fun in the shark tank. And don't worry, even they call it that.
Don't worry about us. We're just here to keep the peace.
I just feel that we should be focusing on the natural beauty of this planet, not our amenities.
There are millions of planets out there. People can go to any one of them. The resort facilities are precisely what we bring to the table. Heck, it's the only thing we've really got to offer.
If it's
I
not
don't want to
important,
risk
bring
us
it up
coming
with
off as
Keith.
just another artificial, shady, trash-filled dump like...
I understand you're the man you need to talk to about that strange ship up in orbit.
I am. And you must be the diplomat Jiro told me about. Welcome, welcome. Normally I'd offer you an all-inclusive stay at our resort before we spoke. But given the circumstances, I'm going to cut to the chase. We've got our friends, the aliens, up there, causing all sorts of problems for our resort. You like that? The marketing team came up with it. The thought is, if we can't get rid of them, it might actually attract more tourism. Come see the aliens!
Well, save us a song and dance. They're calling us from Earth. I know what we need to do.
So it's a colony ship of sorts. Wonderful. That complicates things a bit. As much as I appreciate you showing some initiative, we'll need to discuss this with the present board members and come up with a plan to our liking. Now, tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposals, people. I need something to work with here.
We could offer to resettle them here. There's more than enough space.
They could stay here, temporarily, but it'll cost them. Quite a bit, too. They'd need to work off all their debts before being allowed to leave.
Maybe not. What if we help them get out of here? Outfit their ship with a grav drive so they can find a new home. We could even lend our engineers to help and give their captain an updated star map. What do you think?
Sounds costly. We can't absorb that cost, and it's unlikely they even have compatible currency, let alone enough for the transaction. Someone else would have to foot the bill.
Oh, I swear this would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do.
Wait, why do I have to buy the grad drive?
It's not our responsibility to bear the brunt of that cost. We're being more than generous by offering the use of our engineering team to help install it. A custom grav drive can't come cheap, and I assume they have neither the monetary means nor the connections to get a hold of that kind of technology. That leaves the only other party in this negotiation. You.
Why can't they just settle on the other side of the planet or something?
We own this planet, they don't. Here at Paradiso, we don't like leaving things to chance. Who knows what these people will do with their land? Imagine the landscaping disasters they may come up with, and how that might mar the satellite imagery of the planet in our brochures. No, much better to assimilate them into our culture if they come here to live, rather than leave it to chance.
These are human beings and you're worried about landscaping? That's absurd.
Well, absurd or not, that's our official stance. I make the decisions that are best for our entire group. You don't.
So they can live here. But they'd be indentured servants?
Oh, I didn't say that specifically. This would be a mutual contract for room and board in exchange for services rendered. Of course, there's no telling how long this arrangement will last, given the substantial costs we'd need to take on in order to accommodate them here, including their continued room and board. But this may save the resort on operating costs in the long term, as we'd be able to let go of some of our current paid staff.
These two exist. Are you suggesting I destroy their ship?
I'm not suggesting anything, other than it would make our lives so much easier if that ship ceased existing. Make of that what you will.
Why can't we just let some other authority handle this?
We operate outside of the Free Stars only, you see, partially because we don't want anyone else meddling in our affairs. And we'd rather not draw attention to it. As I've mentioned, it could be bad for business. We'd much rather settle this independently.
I think I made up my mind.
And which proposal will you be taking to the good captain? I assume there's a captain?
What if, after all this, they continue to insist their claim to the planet predates yours?
They'd be hard-pressed to defend their claim in any courts. Our charter goes back years. It was registered with both the UC and Free Star Collective, per the Centaurus Proclamation. We may be outside the settled systems, but that charter's official as can be. I'm sorry, but you're going to need to be the one to break the news to them that they need to make a compromise or leave.
Well, crap. I'll buy the grav drive and convince him to sell somewhere.
Ah, good on you. You want to see a man named Benny St. James over at Hope Tech. He's the best in the business. If anyone can retrofit a 200-year-old ship with a modern grav drive, it'd be him. We'll coordinate our engineering team with his when you return, though you may have to help the Constance engineers prepare for it on their end. Good luck.
They deserve a renewed chance to decide their own fates. That is the right thing to do.
Right. On behalf of the Paradiso group, we appreciate your help. Belom's right.
Thank you.
If we don't want to compete with Leon, Bayou's ruthless.
Could we
He'll
talk?
do anything he can to eliminate the competition. We don't need that kind of trouble. That being said, I think there's a middle ground. Maybe build up the beachfronts in a boardwalk amusement park. I've had this idea to build artificial hot springs.
We try to stay out of the guests' way, but we're always here if needed.
I have been curious. I know that your role in Constellation was thrust upon you in an unusual way. But that experience does not demand that you stay. You could have delivered the artifact and then left. Why do you stay?
Good group of people. They need my help.
They are dedicated in their cause. This is rare and admirable, I think. My past is complicated. And anyone in Constellation will tell you I do not speak much of it. But my family always stressed the importance of having a purpose in life. You must have a reason for being.
I think having goals is important.
A goal is something you work towards, an expectation of achievement. That is not the same. I believe it is sometimes phrased as, the destination is not as important as the journey. When I first came to New Atlantis, I was shocked at how many people go about their business every day like drones. They do their jobs, eat their food, sleep in their beds, all seemingly without concern for anything around them. Complacent. Their experience is so different from much of the settled systems. They do not know how good they have it.
There's no way to know what someone else is going through.
You believe I am too quick to judge. Perhaps that is so. Purpose cuts through adversity. I know that all too well. And these people seem to have no idea.
You obviously been through a lot.
I have. There have been times where I wondered whether it was worth it. My family is unique within the settled systems. I grew up outside the bounds of the United Colonies, or the Freestar Collective. My parents, and their parents before them, did not believe anyone outside our family could be trusted or relied upon. You can imagine, I am sure, how existence without ties to others is challenging in space.
Getting by your own on your own is admirable.
It has certainly proven valuable. Saved me. A few times, without question. For now, though, it would seem you and I have found purpose in Constellation. I believe that is enough. I am pleased that we have common cause, and have enjoyed our time together. Thank you.
All right, let's go.
It is good to be back in our own ship.
Engines firing. Here we go.
Recalculating. And... orbit stabilizing. Perfect.
Grav jump complete.
This is Freestar Space. Please hold your current speed and heading while we scan you for contraband. You're good to go. All clear to land at Hopetown.
No, I haven't messed with the outpost system yet. But why can't we start as an outpost and then turn into a settlement where you can have buildings such as this, people working?
Friendly. And incredible. But everyone on the factory floor bumps into him on occasion. It's not that big of a deal.
My brother, the big shot at Hope Tech.
Let's get you settled in.
Excuse me. A little desperate here.
A fair amount of business runs through Hopetown, and from what I understand, most of it is legal.
Pardon? Yes? What?
Keep an eye on your valuables. If you can't protect your own, you don't belong here.
I have never liked Hopetech ships, though I suppose that is hardly the point of them.
So that was a metal detector? Some kind of scanner for weapons? Okay. Was there a Vanguard here?
I just want to get all these approvals over with.
Oh, unified transport. Okay. Thought it was a Vanguard at first.
Hello. Someone worth paying attention to.
I hear you're an expert with grav drives and other ship parts. I need to ask for a favor.
Sure. That sounds like me. What can I do for you? I'm a little busy, but I think I could spare some time.
Oliver Campbell sent me. I'm here to help about a grav drive for an old colony ship.
Oh, you should have just said that. Of course I can help you. Oliver sent a courier ahead of you. I did some research on ships from that era, and I have a decent idea what we're dealing with. So grav drives didn't really take off until after the ship was built. But I've got access to an ancient grav drive that looks like it could be compatible. With some minor adjustments. It's in good shape too. Parts not cheap though. Neither is the labor. Just pay the combined cost of parts and labor and it's yours.
40,000? Maybe we can find a way to lower that price a bit.
It's a pretty big ask, given how rare these old grav drives are.
You've had that old part for how long and no one has yet offered to buy it?
True. I keep telling myself I'm holding on to it for the right time. Perhaps this is that right time.
That's what I like to hear.
I'm trying to be reasonable here. Tell you what. Sounds like this is for a good cause. While I can't give you the part for free, I won't charge you for the work.
All right.
You're darn right it is. I'll get to work on it right away. I recommend you go back to the ship and ask the captain to prepare for its retrofit. Standard stuff. I'm sure they have an engineer on board to help. We'll send the part along when it's ready and install it with the help of Oliver's people. Pleasure working with you.
Man, 25,000 credits. Can I quick travel from here?
Will we be taking off immediately, or are there other matters that require your attention?
You might require my attention, but we better take off.
Maneuvering into position. And we are now in stable orbit. Stars rearranged. We are here.
And you didn't even scratch the paint.
I remember
out there. Things are going to be more interesting from here on out.
Ready to get lost in here again.
To address threats coming from outside our ship.
Here's the command bay is where I wanted to go. Why is it showing 2 dots? Is there an optional part? That's why.
Other colonists knew how many times the constant almost came apart at the seams. Whew. Well, thankfully, I never let it. I was hoping to talk to our visitor from outer space, and here you are! Welcome, welcome! I have a million burning questions, but I won't overwhelm you. There will be plenty of time for that later. Please, indulge me just a couple. How did you do it? Did humanity finally discover faster-than-light travel and eclipse our poor old ship?
We have a tech called Grav Drive that allows the ship to bend space.
I knew it. It's incredible! I read about this technology in our archives from Earth, but it was only theoretical back then. Amazing! I'll have to learn more. Oh, I've got so many questions, but I'm being rude. I haven't even given you my name. Chief Engineer Kazemi, but you can call me Amin. And, I might add, I'm one of the reasons we're still floating out here today.
I'm Boceifus. There's something else I need to talk to you about, I'm in.
Yes, of course. Anything for my new friend.
I'm supposed to help you prep the ship for the grav drive.
What grav drive? Just joking with you. The Paradiso engineers filled me in. Okay, let's see what we need to do. All right. This will be fun. And hopefully there will be no explosions in the process. I have just received word that the drive is here. Ready to get to work?
You need my help?
Yes, of course I need your help. My team needs to stay on top of their daily maintenance, and I need to make my own preparations for this gravity drive you brought us. Your help is going to be vital to this procedure. And have no worries, it'll be easy. I'll guide you through the process.
All right.
Great. There are 3 preparations I need you to help me make while I set things up on my end. First thing I need you to do is reroute the power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Then, turn the plasma runoff inhibitor function to 5%. Last, you'll need to decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly. Got it? Let's hop to it!
Decouple. I don't remember this crap. Can I complete this? All right. Well, I guess I just... Oh, I can't remember what... Fucking hell. Hope it's not one of those where if you get one sequence wrong, you gotta start completely over.
I can't tell you how many times I've had to make do with... something wrong? There's still something left to do. Reroute the power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Turn the plasma runoff inhibitor function to 5%.
Alright, one more time.
Something wrong? There's still something left to do. Reroute the power from the port turbo pump
Port
to the
turbo
auxiliary
pump
cryogenic radiator.
to auxiliary.
Turn the plasma
Okay.
runoff inhibitor function. Careful not to touch anything on your way out.
Port to auxiliary. Alright.
These are exciting times, aren't they?
Turn something down to 5%.
Looks like everything is good to go on both your end and mine.
Hi.
It was easy enough, but I suck at puzzles anyway, so if it was any harder than that, I may have had to pause it while I tried to solve the puzzle.
Diagnostics picked up another faulty heat sink in the main computer. It was running at about 85%.
We got strict rules around here, but they're strict for a reason.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that. We've got strict rules around here, but they're strict for a reason.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
You
Now
don't
that
say
you're
much.
here, I can finally give my crew a chance at a new life. No matter the outcome, I won't let my crew down.
Grab drive is installed. You should be all set now.
Well, well, it would appear we have the means to go nearly anywhere now, thanks to you. The engineers even upgraded our communications equipment so we can speak with passing ships. Turns out it was a pretty easy fix. Thank you again for all you've done.
No problem at all. Glad it all worked out.
Without you, we'd most likely be stuck. But you went above and beyond. I'll make sure people tell tales of your generosity for as long as our society lives. I don't know if we can ever fully repay you. Thank you again.
Antique piggy bank. Guess I can sell that stuff. I gotta find my way back out.
You're lucky we're under orders not to
All these people want to talk now.
escort you right off this ship.
Oh, I forgot to mention. When, before I started recording this, I was finishing up that off-camera stuff I was doing. And I finally got the very last power you could get. Finally. Even though I don't use them, it's rare I ever use them. I have them all if I need them.
Just stay out of trouble.
remember how to get out of here.
Now that we know what's out there, things are...
Now that we know there are other people out there,
I think it was these stairs here.
These are exciting
No.
times, aren't they?
Here. Oh, I'm lost.
I'm worried
Go.
about Janet. I wonder if someone from the...
There, it wasn't as bad as the first time I was in here. Speak with Janet. Up all the side stuff, man.
And we shall be on our way.
Alright, let's talk to everybody that wants talking to now.
Hello there.
A lot on your mind?
What are y'all doing over there?
Hey, good to see you.
I have to talk about the Starborn. Do you have a second? You do, right?
This is going to be an awkward conversation.
I know. We don't have a lot of information right now. But even going with what we know, this is remarkable. It's mind-boggling. It's huge. It could be the dawn of a new era of humanity. Or it could be an elaborate prank or any number of mundane explanations.
We need more information before we start guessing about what they are.
Spoken like a true scientist. I agree. We just need more data. There has to be a way to draw them out and figure out where they're coming from.
When the Starborn wished to be studied, I am certain the Starborn will reveal themselves to you.
To me, huh? You're not interested in getting this great revelation? I take your point, though. We don't have a lot of control over the situation. This could be a turning point for humanity, you know? Or it could be just the emergence of a powerful new faction, or some sort of elite military tech, or a gazillionaire with nothing else to do. All we know is that they wanted that artifact badly.
Starborn seem like fancy thieves, and that's all.
Yeah, that's how they appear right now. Maybe we can use that to our advantage, though. And who knows? Maybe we'll never see them again.
Talk to Sam. Crack them in the ship.
Late at night in dive bars, sometimes the old-timers share stories about things they've seen that they just couldn't explain. Ghost stories, if you will. I've heard of things like the Starborn before. But they're real. Honest to God real.
The universe is vast. It's arrogant to think we've seen it all.
But you carry on for centuries of exploration, and you can fool yourself into thinking you got it all figured out. Clearly we don't. So the obvious question is, what the hell are they? Everyone's gonna be thinking aliens, but maybe not. Their ships were incredible, but they still felt like ships. They had engines, weapons, I think I even made out a grav drive. If they were really alien, I would just expect it to be more alien, you know? I mean, it could be some secret Freestar Varun or UC tech, but I don't know.
I agree. They didn't feel exceptionally alien.
Exactly. I'm gonna throw out another wild stab in the dark theory. Maybe they're from outside our known systems. Here's the hypothetical. Centuries ago, some brainiac scientists decide to play settler. But they go way, way beyond any place we've ever been to set up stakes. Once they get there, they make a few lucky breakthroughs, and their science just snowballs from there. I could see them getting further, faster, and hence become the Starborn.
That certainly sounds possible. That could be it, Sam.
If I got it right, then you owe me a steak dinner. One way or the other, we are not alone. And that's both exciting and terrifying.
Sarah? Is she?
I wanted to talk to you, but honestly, I don't know where to begin. The Starborn's technology is simply astonishing. It's just almost too much to process.
You seem to be pretty shaken up about the whole thing.
Yes, I suppose I am. But you can hardly blame me, can you? You do understand the significance of this encounter, don't you? This is humankind's first contact with what I believe is an alien race. A race with technology that could be far superior to our own. Oh, we could learn so much from them.
I don't think they'll be willing to teach us anything.
That's what disturbs me. Can't be a coincidence that these Starborn suddenly appeared after your experience at that temple. We know they're here to lay claim to the artifacts, but what's their true motivation? What aren't they telling us?
I'm hoping that we can come to some sort of understanding with them.
I feel exactly the same way. But it certainly sounded like they weren't willing to work with us at all. Damn. Oh, if only we knew more about the Starborn. What their species is like, where they're from, how they're able to speak our language. I feel like a cadet on my very first day aboard a spaceship. My mind is absolutely swimming with questions.
I think humans have more in common with the Starborn than you suspect.
Than you suspect. Don't you mean we? Anyway, that's an interesting theory, but given what we've seen so far, I don't see how it's possible. Their name alone, Starborn. There's some type of hidden meaning there. Something that feels very old, perhaps even ancient. Whatever the case may be, I can assure you that Constellation intends to get to the bottom of this mystery.
We should make every effort to learn about these beings.
Exactly. We must use all of the tools at our disposal to learn more about the Starborn and their connection to the artifacts.
I'll be here to help every step of the way.
Thank you. I really appreciate your support right now. You know, it's funny. When I was a little girl, I'd lay on the ground and stare up at the stars. I was absolutely convinced they held a secret. I'd remain there for hours in silence, eyes closed, listening, waiting for the secret to be whispered in my ear. This encounter with the Starborn is that moment to me. The stars are finally whispering, and I need to hear what they have to say.
I have a few things I'd love to whisper in your ear right now.
Although I'm flattered that you think of me that way, there's a time and a place for that sort of talk. This is definitely not one of them. Well then, I've certainly wasted enough of your valuable time. Just do be careful if you cross paths with these Starborn in the future. I wouldn't want to lose one of the most valuable members of Constellation.
I don't think Andrea has anything to say. She getting up? She had to get up.
Is something amiss?
Nope.
Right.
Alright, we'll go ahead and call it here. Decide what we'll do next episode. Be good to each other. Take care of each other. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next video.